And we are back with more Skyblazer as we descend into the Petrolith castle. Now this is the obligatory ice stage for the game. And there are a couple of ways that you can deal with mobility in this one, because you are going to slide around a lot. There are two ways that you can stop yourself in place. Well, actually, if you're jumping, just stop moving right before you land and you won't slide around. But if you don't want to jump, there are two things you can do. One is, you can punch, because that'll stop you in your tracks as you throw the punch, although you will start moving once you finish the attack. The other thing you can do, and this is what I usually do, is if you just duck, that'll stop you in your place, and you won't slide as soon as you stand back up. And all things considered, this is relatively short considering that there is going to be a boss fight at the end of this, not this section, but I think the one directly after this. No, wait, there's two more sections after this. Never mind. And if you go to the left instead of to the right like I'm doing now, you're just going to find a vial to fill up your magic. So, not too much point in going back there. And as for this section, you really do not want to fall here. Not just because there are spikes at the bottom, but there are also enemies at the bottom that look like pinkish purple lion things. You just saw them at the bottom of the screen. And those can also make life pretty hellish. Which is why I'm making absolutely sure I can make this jump before I attempt to do it. Now, I would like to give a little background information about some of the people who were involved with this game. Like I said, it was made by Obligatory Company, which was founded by Kenshi Naruse, who was a former Capcom employee. But he also worked on some other games, like Obligatory, before they went down, also did Hook for the SNES, and he actually does a little other work too, like he was involved with some of the King of Fighters games. I know he was the programmer for, I think it was 98 and 2002. Either the originals or the remake, I can't remember exactly which one. Another person, the character artist in this game, Teruo Nagato, also did graphic artwork for Grandia. And the person who composed the music for this game, Harumi Fujita, also did work on a bunch of NES games, a lot of which were either published or made by Capcom, like Bionic Commando, the Strider NES game, and Mega Man 3. And a little note about this section. If you, well, not here because there's spikes, if you aren't ducking, and you're in one of these sections where the wall's going to come down on you, Sky will automatically duck, so you don't have to worry about doing that yourself. I just do it out of habit. And now we get to the boss, the evil ice wall. Now, the thing about this boss is there are 3 different places he can take damage. The left eye, the right eye, and the quote-unquote eye at the center. If you have full magic at this point, the easiest way to kill this boss and make sure you're doing maximum damage is to select the Comet Flash and then just go right across the eyes, because then you will damage every single part of it that you possibly can. And if you do that, you have just enough magic that when you do it the final time, all the eyes will be destroyed and he'll die. Of course, I'm not doing that at this point, because I like to make things more difficult on myself. And the only way you can die at this boss is if you get crushed by the wall. That's basically the entire gimmick to this one. And there's one eye, there's... I didn't quite damage those two enough. Let's see if I can do it this time. Alright, one more eye to go. And there we are. Relatively easy boss considering. If you have decent reaction time, this boss won't be a problem at all. And once you defeat him, you get Starfire. No, not the Dragon Force song, this is way more awesome. Now from here, we are going to move forward and go across this bridge, which is known as the Falls of Torment. The only real issue with this area are, well, there's actually two. One of them is you're going to be crossing the water, and you have to keep jumping on these rolling logs or you will fall in and these fish will attack you. You can't jump out of the water, so you will have to fight your way to get to the other side, cling to the wall, and then climb back up. And these bastards with the bows are the only other thing that's going to give you major trouble in this. And you really need to avoid using magic or... damn it! Using magic or any attacks that take a lot of time to perform, because if you're standing on the log, you're more than likely going to fall in. But you can deal with the archers in a specific way, because if you attack as the arrow is coming toward you, you will knock it out of the air and it won't damage you. And by the way, you do freeze in midair if you do the Dragon Slash. That's another way that you can sort of get through the whole not standing on the log thing. But once we're past the Falls of Torment, we can move on to the Lair of Carrion. Again, if I'm mispronouncing this, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the obligatory water temple of the game. This is not going to be fun. Much like water temples in The Legend of Zelda, this one becomes confusing fast. Not yet, because the flow of water is all exactly the same. What you're going to have to do here is use those switches to change the water flow to go through specific areas, and... these damn dragons. To go through specific areas and find your way to the boss. Now this doesn't seem so bad so far. There's a pretty clear indication of where exactly you're supposed to go. And all it requires is just riding the current a little bit to figure it out. That's because most of the confusion lies in one very particular area. You're going to be doing this a lot, using Dragon Slashes to hit switches that you can't initially reach. Right, now I believe we are in the confusing space. Actually, no, we're not. It's the room after this. I'm sorry, I'm not looking forward to it. Now, these cannons will shoot balls that will drift around in the current, so it's definitely a good idea to get rid of them if you can. Usually one Dragon Slash will do it, or a few punches and kicks. Now we have to... missed that one. Now we have to get into here. This leads into the main section. You can't quite see it yet, but this is a really large space that leads to a bunch of other side rooms, as well as the path to the boss chamber. Now, we can't go there yet. We have to hit that switch, ride the current all the way around again, and enemies do respawn if you go off-screen from them. And, damn it. I accidentally hit the switch with the Dragon Slash. Oops. Now, the good thing about these dragons is they drop tons of items, because every body segment counts as like an individual enemy and will drop something. Now, actually, yeah, let's go upward first and get these refills. And by the way, the items that are stationary and were already here, those do respawn every time you re-enter those areas. So it is very, very possible to end up grinding for lives here. And we're going to ride this current over here. That'll get us to this section, and... crap, I forgot. That particular section I was just in is a crucial way to be able to, actually... No, I don't think it is. Never mind. I'm confused already. This is not good. What we have to do is ride down through here, and... ah, damn it. You know what? I am really thinking about making a cut here. In fact, I think that's what I'll do. Hold on. Alright, we're back in this area. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to drift down, take these items, move over here, and before we drift up, hit that with a Dragon Slash. Now we're going to refill our magic and go through here. Now we're going to drift downward to the right. And now we're going to go up and around. I just realized I screwed up. What we're actually going to do is go all the way down here. Keep going down, because the boss chamber is located off to the right. We're going to hit this with a Dragon Slash. And go through here. I screwed up again. Damn it! Okay, we're back here. Now, we drift to the right. Follow this a little bit. And we're going to go up, and you see that room to the left? That is how you get to the boss chamber. And what we're going to do is drift all the way up here, and then go straight down. Straight. Damn it. At least this is a shorter one. We're going to drift straight down, hitting that switch so that the water current goes down, and enter the boss chamber. Now, I did die the first time doing this because I was trying something stupid, but the basic layout to this boss is there are 4, I guess you would call them, I don't know what you would call them, but they lay eggs that these fish come out of, and this is the easy way to do it. Easy as in you don't use a lot of magic to do it. You can trap these fish against the wall because their AI is always going to be leading them in a straight line towards you. So you can trap them against one wall and take out at least 2 of these spawners, and then do this again with the lower wall to take out the other 2. If you don't know about this strategy, the boss might be a little hard, but if you do, it's kind of boring. So boring in fact that I'm going to make a cut. And what you are seeing right now is the hard part about doing this strategy, which is getting all of the fish grouped together so that they will all be trapped against the same wall. And one thing that makes this a little easier is that when the fish are larger like this, instead of smaller than when they initially spawn, is they can take a couple of hits. And the reason that's a good thing is, usually the fish are not going to be grouped together like this. What you'll have to do is knock some of them back a little bit to get them grouped up a little more, and make them easier to trap against the wall. And as you're seeing, it doesn't have to be against the side wall, it can be against the bottom wall too, although against the bottom wall, it's a little more precarious. As you can see, they're almost ready to charge at me. And it's just that little corner of the wall that's holding them back. Hold on. Okay, that was a scary 5 seconds. And now it's just a matter of seeing how many shots this thing can take. Well, that was fun, and now we're suddenly standing in the middle of water. But, doesn't matter, because we have acquired the Time Stop ability. Now, this isn't something that I'd recommend using a lot. It's really only coming in handy for one particular boss. But, I think that's enough for today. I'm going to head back to the shrine and save. Next time on Skyblazer, we will journey to the sand rivers of Shirol.